I don't know about you, but I love toxic romantic stories where the characters swear they'd kill themselves rather than falling in love. From petty fights to turf battles, this is the top 10 anime where enemies fall in love. Also, stick around to the end of the video for an honorable mention that doesn't make it to the list. Let's go. Coming from behind on the list is the magical girl and evil lieutenant used to be arch enemies. So yeah, the name of this anime is definitely longer than the plot. And if I weren't a bot, I would have run out of breath before finishing the title. This story revolves around the lives of Mira and Byakuya. Mira is a lieutenant to an evil organization that wants to take over the world. And then there's Byakuya, a regular cashier at a mini-mart, but she's really a strong magical princess wearing a slave disguise as like Cinderella. It's love at first sight for Mira, who falls for the op when he's meant to eliminate Byakuya as demanded by his organization. We're talking about some spicy forbidden romance and misplaced priorities from Mira, who struggles to keep his balls together when close to Byakuya. Nevertheless, it's a proven fact that anime with extremely long names are usually badass. But don't ask me where I got that analysis from, bro. Next on the list, we have Kuroshii. Kuroshii in English translation is love of kill, and believe me when I say that is exactly what the plot gives us. Two dangerous characters, a bounty hunter and a dangerous assassin, get into a twisted relationship of cat and mouse like some good old Tom and Jerry cartoon. We see both of them literally try to kill each other in the first episode, but it turns out to be a complicated game where the target falls for his supposed killer. The genre is simply toxic romance, mixed feelings, angry love, and violent relationships all wrapped up with a cherry on top as multiple killings and dead bodies. Luckily, we see both characters really dig in and tug at their heartstrings, raising a deep sense of connection and emotion to the point they show affection for one another. This anime made me question reality because do assassins really cry? Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway because one of them has to X. At number 8, Love After World Domination. I'm actually dying while playing this because this show's elements is the definition of insane. Firstly, it's a Power Rangers ripoff with red, blue, green, yellow, and pink gelatos. And what do the Power Rangers do? They fight for justice, except there's a little tiny problem. Being on the good side of the fight is truly liberating until you fall head over heels in love with the badass evil princess. For Fudo to retain credibility, he has to keep his relationship with Desumi a secret. While their forbidden romance has them actively seeing each other in secret, Desumi does not hesitate to shove her butt cheeks in Fudo's face for some on-field tension during their fake fights. 7th on the list is 7th Time Loop, and isn't that a wonderful coincidence? So we all know cats have 9 lives, but I'm afraid they've got some heavy competition. By that, I'm talking about our beautiful protagonist, Riche, the unfortunate daughter of a duke. She has lived 6 lives that all ended tragically, but in a shocking plot twist, she gets reincarnated to that same time frame where the pathetic loser prince calls off their engagement. At the 7th loop of her reincarnation, baby girl says, "Nah, I've had enough of this BS," and wishes to live a better life for herself. And by that, Riche makes the worst decision ever of marrying the evil, powerful duke who X'd her in her previous life. So yes, she harbors some degree of bad blood for Arnold here until she realizes, hey, maybe he's not as bad as I thought. Not only is this anime a beautiful romance from a medieval era, but it also balances all the elements of enemies to lovers, seeing Riche has to become a bride to her mortal enemy.
あなたの瞳は世界で一番美しいと思います。
6th place is Mayo Mao Yusha. On this list is another anime from the medieval era. I'm not being biased, but you'd agree with me that the medieval genre has a lot of undiscovered peak shows. In this case, however, we have mortal enemies sworn to be at each other's throats. These are the Demon King and Hero, of course, but what happens when the Demon King is not ugly looking like Overlord and is actually a cute redhead with huge floaters on her rib cages? Simple! Hero falls head over heels in love with her and pledges to serve her while also helping the kingdom's people to thrive. Someday we'll talk about the power of Opie, but not today. Before we move on to number 5, we love giving quality to weebs because we all know quality is what weebs deserve. Now imagine what liking and subscribing will help us accomplish as a channel. If 100% of viewers do that right now, tap in those boobs, buttons will keep us on our A game, so doing well to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for that. Ooh. Coming on at number 5 is Nisekoi. See how Raku and Chitoge's feud builds up from the first episode when she accidentally knocks him in the face and all hell breaks loose? Not very mindful of her. Very hateful. Nothing screams toxic romance more than two characters that absolutely cannot stand each other. I'm not talking about fake I hate you relationships. I'm talking about real ones like Drake versus Kendrick Lamar or Drake versus the whole music industry. To make matters worse, Raku and Chitoge are revealed to be children of rival gangs. One day, their families decide to use them as experiments to end their long rivalry. They do our protagonists dirty by setting them up as fake couples. To sum things up, these two have to accommodate each other even with distractions from Raku's crush and a girl he's been searching for since childhood. At number 4, we have The Devil is a Part-Timer. Correct me if I'm wrong, you mean this hot hunk of vanilla is the devil? Why do the bad guys always get the good stuff?
It should have been me, not him!
The Demon Lord moves from the underworld and hits Japan, but what he doesn't expect is to lose a huge percent of his powers and become a busboy at a fast food restaurant. The devil learns financial responsibility. Never in my life did I think he would work his way up by dishwashing to conquer the world, but okay, that's quite enough of bashing the plot. What we're focusing on is the unhealthy romance with the hero who defeated him in their world, Emi. Turns out she also lost her powers after the portal jump to the human world. While Mao regains a fraction of his abilities by spreading misfortune to measly humans, Emi has to consume energy drinks. One more thing about Emi. She's dedicated to ruining Mao's life and any chances at him regaining his powers. She comes off as his stalker who watches his every move until she catches feelings. Just putting this out there that romance is not the main trope, however, it's good stuff. Boarding School Juliet comes in at 3rd place with a Romeo and Juliet type shit kind of romance. For the record, the protagonists are literally named after Shakespeare's masterpiece, but hey, trust creators to always come in with their own spice. Over here we have Persia and Inuzaka, who happen to be the leaders of 2 dormitories that never ever get along. Matter of fact, their different uniforms indicate the degree of segregation between the white cats and the black dogs. Of course, all of this changes when Inuzaka comes clean about his feelings of Persia, creating a room for secret getaways and romance type shit that is termed as forbidden on school grounds. Their story spins off from Dahlia Academy, a prestigious school that promotes hostility by housing 2 groups of students from feuding countries. On that note, hello Dahlia Academy. I must say, I'm a huge fan of your work. At number 2, we have the peaked perfection Psychic Princess. I'm not Pusha P, but this piece is profound as it also highlights the elements of enemies turned lovers. Psychic Princess is a Chinese anime that tells you the story of Quan and Ye. Quan is a young lady with psychic abilities, so she could talk to ghosts. Ye is that hot emperor from the romance manhwa. Best believes that this takes the turn of a toxic, feisty romance. Beforehand, Quan is the neglected daughter of a noble family. She's so dumb that she can't see a bullet even if it hit her right in the chest. Due to her gullibility, she is made to take her little sister's place and get married to the ruthless enemy prince Ye. For the record, she has absolutely no idea about him or what he looks like and is sent off to live in an abandoned hut after a misunderstanding with Ye. Yeah, so marriage already crumbles before they get to meet the couple, and this sets the block for the enemies to lovers trope. Also, the opening song is pretty catchy. Emerging at number 1 is A Silent Voice. You ever watched a peak drama and afterwards you wonder if life makes sense? That's the vibe this anime gives, but something much more sentimental, satisfying, and almost sad all at the same time. A Silent Voice really grows on you and tugs at your heartstrings, right there on the spot. The story revolves around Shoya, a former bully at elementary school, as he goes on a journey of self-discovery to attain forgiveness from a deaf girl he bullied. Now this is what we define as damage control and manipulation. Fortunately, we get to see Shoya intentionally spread his influence to become the perfect man. Nah, that's too far off, cause the dude is actually a deep shit who only realizes his wrongdoings after becoming an outcast for bullying. The story follows Shoya's search for redemption till he finds something precious with Shoko. Now for the moment you've been waiting for, honorable mention goes to Redo of Healer. I know you're confused, but don't fight it, bro. We have Kiaru, an unfortunate healer who has been under the mercilessness of busty princesses. Personally, I'd let Kureha walk on me like a mat. But when Kiaru manages to go back 4 years in time, he returns with alpha male aura and a thirst for vengeance in a very, very interesting way. I can already sense the glares through my glare detector device. I know that feeling. Your favorite anime didn't get listed, huh? Well, let me know in the comments which anime should have been on this list. On this note, that's a wrap, weebs. You've made it this far, so like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tea. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.